at the home of Joe and Laura Warriner, and their home is so unique to Oklahoma City and Oklahoma in general because it's a Bruce golf house. And Laura, thank you for opening up your yard to us so that we could see it.
Certainly.
I mean, tell us a little bit. First of all, you can't help but notice the house because of the unique architecture. Can you tell us a little bit about him as an architect?
This was designed by Bruce Goff, who was head of the College of Architecture at OU during the 40s and 50s. We bought this house in 1966, and we met Mr. Goff in 1967 because neither of us knew anything about who the architect was or anything except that we really loved the uniqueness of it and everything. So we have lived here ever since then, and it has gone through lots of different reiterations in these years. So this is the latest with the sort of succulent garden, trying to not using so much water.
Well, when we often talk about how a home's design and the architecture of a home can influence the landscape, and I think your landscape here really just plays up the home's architecture. Can you tell us about some of the plant choices? You mentioned some of the succulents. You've got sumac all around the house, which is just the shape of them, the angles and stuff really play off the house.
Well, I love European gardens and stuff like that, but I really had the idea of having this beautiful purple against this green, and the idea of just having a line of purple crossing around in front of the building. And we used to have yellow forsythia that went all around the front of it. And so it kind of started out with the sage. And then I've had lots of friends over the years that have really helped me. Warren Edwards was the first person to come and do the landscape. And over the years, it became overgrown, and then came the idea of no grass up here, no lawn, minimal lawn. And I have a friend, Sierra, and she kind of helped me with some of my potted plants and stuff, giving me some ideas about the same kind of succulent idea, but maybe not always just succulents, but things that are comparable with it. I am not a gardener.
Well, and I think that's a lot of times what people think is drought tolerant means succulent, and it doesn't necessarily. I mean, there's so many other herbaceous plants that you can use, and you guys have done that really well here. One of the areas I like that you mentioned was you've got an area where the plants weren't growing, and so you came up with a very creative solution where you put in glass. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, we had a little problem over in the front because nothing would grow there. It was in the shade and there wasn't enough soil. So I just stacked it all up in there, and it looks really nice, and it has a little LED light that's ever so light so that it's not glary at night, but it's really gives a nice ambience to the space.
It really reflects nicely with the pools that you have next to it, and the addition and just the house itself. I mean, it really lends to different angles as you're walking around the house and being inside it, and then also above your addition, there's kind of an area for you to enjoy your garden and see it from a different angle.
It's really beautiful. It's where I have my coffee every morning.
It really frames the landscape for you. Yeah. Well, do you mind if we go and take a look in the backyard?
That would be great. Thank you.
Laura, it's apparent from looking at your garden that you're also an artist, and you actually are working and run a nonprofit.
Right.
Can you tell us the name of that nonprofit? And
it's Art Space at Untitled, and we are a 501c3 in the Deep Deuce area of downtown Oklahoma City. And we have a lot of different programs that we run there.
Well, I know you're a very busy woman, and so your landscape has changed a little bit. It's gone a little more low maintenance, but some things about it, you've incorporated this bamboo.
Well, we have a terrible flooding problem from the school that's behind us, and also we're the lowest piece of property on this 2-square block. And so the bamboo, the raised wall, was to keep the water from coming from the property adjacent to us, and the bamboo was just a natural fence to replace the old fence that was there from 1955. So Roger Runge, my friend, who I was talking with one day, came up with the idea of making a bamboo fence and planted it and put in a horse panel fence that you can't see because it's in the middle of the bamboo, but we could tie the bamboo up to it when we were first trying to get it started.
And this is a good reason why you want to be very judicious when you're using bamboo in the garden. And some of the other fence panels that you...
But I do still have some of the new fence panels that he designed in 1980 when we did a renovation of, or a restoration and a little bit of a change. When we added the bamboo, then we lost some of the fence panels, and I then started turning them into benches, into dining room tables, and
you've even incorporated in your grill here behind us.
I like repurposing and reusing.
So yeah, even here in your dining room table, you've incorporated.
Right. Yes.
Well, it's just beautiful, and it's a nice way to incorporate your furniture and your outdoor space all together. And I know that you do like gardening yourself. You're maintaining this garden yourself, and you've incorporated.
Well, I'm not the greatest. But,
it's beautiful.
Thank you.
You've incorporated some succulents. I see that the Texas Silverado sage is blooming for us. The barometer, because it's supposed to rain tomorrow.
Yes.
But you have a nice little herb garden that you enjoy as well.
Yes, this door goes just right into the dining room and the kitchen area, and so I wanted to have one little area where I could have herbs and stuff, and so I've tried to pick things that smell good too, like curry plant and different things like that. So and then I like to cook. I don't cook nearly as much as I used to, but it's my goal this year is to actually kind of pick this up again. So that's where the herbs came in. We just planted these this year, actually.
Well, it's a nice little touch that again shows your interest. The garden really reflects your style, I think,
well,
and it's a beautiful style. So
thank you.
Thank you for sharing it with us.
No, thank you very much for being interested.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.